Hello, book lovers and English learners. Welcome to Lydia's Book Club podcast, your weekly dose of reading in English. I'm Lydia Bureau, I'm an English teacher in France and also the founder of Lydia's Book Club, a book club for learners of English and non-native English speakers who want to maintain their fluency in English. In this book club, I host live readings and live discussion workshops on adaptations of classics of literature and contemporary novels in their original text. I also tend to prioritize books that are written by women. Each month, we read and explore a different book for all levels of English. For the next months, so for April, March and April 2025, we've decided to read the original text of this book. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover and published in 2022. For this book, you need a strong B2 or a C1 advanced level in English. With the members of the book club, we've decided to read this book because our last read was It Ends With Us. And this book, so this one, and this book is actually the sequel of It Ends With Us. So it just makes sense for us to read it right after It Ends With Us, which we read in January and February. So if you don't know anything about these books or the author, Colleen Hoover, I invite you to listen to the podcast episode 30, which is available on this YouTube channel and also on Spotify. So today it is session 11, and we are going to read chapters 22 and 23. If you would like to attend this live reading with me on Zoom, you just need to subscribe to the newsletter of the book club. And this way you get the Zoom link to have access to the Zoom session. And I highly recommend you to join us because it will be the best way for you to improve your reading and comprehension skills. And it will also give you the chance to ask me any questions that you might have about the book club or about the book or the chapters that we've just read. Also on Saturday, the 26th of April, I will host the second live discussion workshop. We will talk about chapters 15 to chapter 25. The live discussion workshop is only accessible for the members of the book club. So it's a private discussion on Zoom that I don't post on YouTube. And if you want to join this live discussion, these live discussion workshop, then you need to become a member, a full member, I would say, of the book club. And for that, you just need to go to lydiasbookclub.com and join the book club, or you follow the link in the description. Also, this book club, being fully part of the book club, will also give you the chance to actually practice your speaking skills more than during the live reading. The live reading is 90% me just reading the text, and at the end, I like to keep a little bit of time to discuss the chapters that we've read, but it's just at the end of the session, so there is no room for much for deeper conversation. The workshop, the discussion workshop, is really where you will practice your speaking skills and develop your fluency in English. Also, get motivated to read more and gain more confidence as well in your speaking. And also, it's going to be a fantastic way to meet other members of the book club, for sure. And last thing, if you're not sure yet about joining the book club or committing to attend the live discussion workshops, then there are there is a possibility for you to purchase the previous live discussion workshop that we've recorded in the past. So if you go to the workshop store on the book club website, then you will just need to select. You don't need to become a member to purchase the workshop. You just select the one that you want, and then on checkout, you'll be asked to create your login, which will give you a private access to the videos. And this way, you'll be able to watch them at your own time, at your own pace, and read the book as well at your own pace. And this way, it will give you an idea of what it's like to be part of Lydia's book club and be a member, and what it's like to be in the workshop sessions. So, that being said, let's get started. So, I'm just going to do a quick recap of the chapters that I've read last week. So, in the last session, I read chapter 19, 20, and 21. So let's do a quick recap of these three. So in chapter 19, Atlas is the narrator of this chapter, and we learn that Theo has is attending a new school now, and it happens that it's the same school where Josh, sorry. Did I say Theo? I can't remember. So no, Josh is Josh, so the new brother. So Atlas's little brother is now attending a new school, and it happens to be the same school as Theo. Remember, Theo is Brad's son, and he's 12 as well. And he apparently goes to the same school because when Josh uh, uh, goes to the restaurant with Atlas for the first time, let's say, since Atlas caught him sneaking in his restaurant. Josh and Theo recognize each other, or at least Atlas noticed that they knew each other, and realized, well, not noticed, but he realizes that they know each other. So Atlas is going to ask Theo more about Josh, so how Josh is doing at school, although Theo has just uh, met Theo, just knows him only for 2 days, so it's very new that Josh is in school, so it's a bit difficult for Theo to tell him how he's doing, but it seems like he's the kind of boy that doesn't let himself being bullied. So he's defending himself, but and he seems to be quite mean to not to Theo, but to maybe the bullies. He's bullying the bullies, basically. So I guess that doesn't make him like a bad little boy, but yeah. Anyway, so that's what we learn. This is what this chapter is much about. Then chapter 20, Atlas is coming to Lily to pick her up for the wedding. And in this chapter, Atlas get really upset, get upset, yeah, get really upset because of Lily's tattoo. He sees her tattoo, and that reminds him when he rescued her from Ryle when he attacked her, well, attacked, when he violated her, where he was violent with Lily, and that she got hurt on the head, and they had to go to the emergency. And it reminded him um, that he remembered that the nurse had said that she had been bitten, and now he sees why. So Ryle, if you remember, Ryle um, beat, no, bite, bitten, sorry, he bite, he bitten, sorry, Lily on the on her collarbone, where she has the tattoo of a heart, and bite her. Yeah. So he he bite her on the heart, remember? But Atlas didn't know that it was because she had the heart here, and because of Atlas basically, and that Ryle bite her here. And um and um and Atlas realized that at this moment, and he gets very upset and suddenly get very distant towards Lily and doesn't understand. And in the end, they clear the air, and Atlas explains her why he's has reacted like that, and the fact that he feels guilty in a way, that he wasn't there to protect her when she was with Ryle. He feels so guilty about his absence in a way. And he finally kisses her. Yes, when she tells him that he actually helped her, even though he wasn't in her life. He was always with her uh, when she reminded herself how Atlas behaved with her and kept her going, and realized that Ryle, it helped her detached herself from Ryle in a way. So when she tells him that he has always been with her, although he wasn't physically, they weren't together, that he helped her get through it, through the difficult time of our separation with Ryle, then this is all he needed to basically kiss her, to finally kiss her. And then they had to go to the wedding, but it was hard for both of them to separate each other from the kisses and the hugging and etc. and embrace that they had together. So they ended up going to the wedding, but they didn't stay very long. They found at the first opportunity that they had, they just left the reception after maybe an hour. They stayed perhaps an hour or so. I can't remember. This is what I remember. They didn't stay very long. Um, can't remember. We left early anyway. So they didn't stay. Yeah, maybe an hour is a little bit short. But anyway, so they didn't stay very long. And actually, there's not much description about the wedding. So that shows that in a way the wedding doesn't really matter because here it's Atlas describing the wedding part, well, the this chapter, and he says that he doesn't remember much about the wedding because he was so focused on Lily and the fact that they had just been kissing and that he couldn't stop thinking about kissing her even more and being with her and have her in his arms and that's it. So now and then they go back home. So they go home and and basically they she he goes up to he takes Lily up to her flat and I guess they and then he calls Josh to tell him that he's gonna come back late, very late. Chapter 22 now. I'm trying to act, so it's Lily talking. I'm trying to act confident about this, but as soon as I walk into my bedroom, I lose every bit of the confidence that got me in here. It's just that it's been so long since I've been with anyone, probably since right after getting pregnant with Emmy. I haven't had sex post baby and I haven't had sex with Atlas since I was 16. And both of these thoughts start swirling together to create this monstrous invasive thought tornado in my mind. I'm standing in the middle of my bedroom when Atlas appears in the doorway a few seconds later. I put my hands on my hips, and just stand here. He's staring at me. I feel like I'm supposed to make the next move since I'm the one who just invited him into my bedroom. I don't know what to do next, I admit. It's been a while. Atlas laughs. Then he saunters towards the bed. He saunters toward the bed because, of course, he can't just walk in. He can't just walk in and because of course, he can't just walk in and then like walk in an attractive way. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Because of course, he can't just walk in an unattractive way. Every move he makes is sexy. Him removing his suit jacket right now is sexy. He tosses it onto my dresser and then kicks off his shoes. God, even that was sexy. Then he sits down on my bed. Let's talk. He leans against my headboard and then crosses his ankles. He looks very relaxed and sexy. I can't imagine lying down on that bed in this dress. It would be uncomfortable and probably not very much fun to try to remove if we get to that point. Let me change clothes first. I walk into my closet and close the door. I turn on the light, but nothing happens. The bulb is out. Shit. I can't get dressed in the dark. I don't have my phone on me, so I can't use the flashlight. I can't use the flashlight app to help. I do my best, but it takes a minute to get the zipper down. When I finally do, instead of stepping out of the dress, for some reason I pull the dress over my head, and of course, it snags in my hair. I tried to set my hair free, but the dress is heavy and it's taking forever in the dark, and I can't walk out to find a mirror because Atlas is out there. My God, this is terrible. I keep trying to untangle it. After a few defeating minutes, Atlas finally taps on the door. You okay in there? No, I'm stuck. Can I open the door? I'm standing in my bra and panties with a dress half over my head, but this is what I deserve. This is closet karma. Okay, but I'm not really dressed. I hear Atlas laugh, but when he opens the door and sees my situation, he immediately springs into action by flicking the light switch. It does nothing, of course. The bulb is out. He moves towards me to inspect my situation. What happened? My hair is stuck. Atlas pulls out his phone and uses the light to help him see what I'm tangled on. He tugs my hair and my dress in opposite direction, and then magically my dress is on the floor. I smooth out my hair. Thank you. I fold my arms over myself. This is embarrassing. The light from Atlas's phone is still on, so he can see that I'm standing in my bra and panties. He turns off his phone light, but the closet door is open, and there is a lamp, and there is a lamp on, and there is a lamp on in the bedroom, so I'm still very visible to him. There is a moment of hesitation on both our parts. He can't help he can't tell if he should walk away and let me finish getting dressed, and I can't tell if I want him to. And then suddenly we're kissing. It just happened as if we moved towards each other at the same time. One of his hands slips around to the back of my head and the other goes directly to my lower back, so low that his fingers are skimming over my panties. I wrap both my arms around his neck and pull him to me so hard. We stumble into a line of clothes. Atlas writes Atlas writes us again, but I can feel his smile in his kiss. He pulls far enough away from my mouth so that he can speak. What is it with you in closets? Then he kisses me again. We make out in the closet for a few minutes, and it's everything I remember about all the times we used to sneak make out sessions when we were young. The desire, the thrill, the newness of doing things you've never done, or in this case, haven't done in a long time. It reminds me how much I loved being in the bed with him, whether we were kissing or talking or doing other things. The memories I made with him in my bedroom are some of my absolute favorite memories. He's kissing my neck when I whisper, "Take me to bed." He doesn't hesitate. He slides his hands down my ass and grips my thighs, hoisting me up. He carries me out. He carries me out of the closet across the bedroom and then plants me onto my mattress, where he proceeds to climb on top of me. The feel of him against me only makes me more desperate for him. But he treats this like he used to treat our makeout sessions, with patience and appreciation, like making out is enough. Hmm. And that's and that it's a privilege and that it's a privilege just to be kissing me. Like making out is enough, and that it's a privilege just to be kissing me. I don't know where he finds that patience, because I kind of want him to take off his clothes and treat me like this is his only chance to have me. Maybe he would if he thought that, but we both know this is just the beginning. He's taking it slow because I asked him to. If I'm sure if I asked him to go faster, he would do that too. Consider it, Atlas. We eventually come to a point where we have to make a decision. I have a condom in my drawer, and he probably has a little time. He probably has a little time before he needs to leave, but when we stop kissing long enough to look at each other, he shakes his head. We're both breathing heavily and a little worn out from being so worked up for so long, so he rolls off me. It rolls off me and falls onto his back. He's still dressed. I'm still in my bra and underwear. We never got further than that. Oh, gosh. As much as I want to, he breathes. I don't want to have to leave right after. Oh, my God. He rolls onto his side and places a hand on my stomach. He's looking down at me with eyes that are unsatisfied, like he wants to stay. Never mind, and ravish me. I sigh, close my eyes. Sometimes I hate responsibility. Atlas laughs, and then I feel him move closer. He kisses the corner of my mouth and says, I don't have to leave yet. When he says that, his index fingers sleep beneath the hem of my panties, right below my belly button. He drags it back and forth, waiting for a reaction. I lift my hips, hoping that's enough of a conversation. Every part of my body feels like it's on fire when he slips two more fingers into my underwear. Then, when his entire hand makes the move, I'm a goner. Okay. I release a trembling breath and grip the sheet at my sides, arching my back and my hips up against his hand. He brings his mouth to mine, but he doesn't kiss me. He remains close to my lips, using the movement of my hips and the sounds of my moans to guide him toward the finish. He's extremely intuitive. It doesn't take long at all before I'm tensing around his hand, pulling his neck down so that I can kiss him through the end of it. When it's over, he slides his hand out of my panties, but then cups me there, leaving his hand over me. Will I recover? My chest is heavy, is heaving as I try to catch my breath. Sorry. Atlas is breathing heavily too, but I need a minute to recover before I can do anything about it. Lily, Atlas kisses Lily. Atlas kisses me gently on the cheek. On the cheek, sorry. On the cheek. I think you he pauses, so I open my eyes and look at him. He shifts his eyes to my breasts and then back at my face. Then he pulls out his white shirt and looks down at it, and I see there's some kind of stain on it. Oh shit! I look down at my bra and it's soaking wet. Oh my God, breast milk everywhere. I'm such an idiot. Atlas doesn't seem at all fazed by it. He rolls off the bed and says, I'll give you some privacy. I'm a little mortified that my bra is covered in breast milk, so I grab the sheet and cover my chest with it before meeting Atlas at the foot of my bed. It kind of killed the mood. Are you leaving? Of course not. He kisses me and then leaves the room as if it's completely normal for a man to make out with a woman who is breastfeeding a baby even that isn't even his. It has to be at least a little awkward for him, but he covers it. But he covers it. But he covers it well. I spend the next several minutes in the bathroom pumping, and then I take a quick 10-second shower. I throw on I throw on an oversized t-shirt and some pajama shorts before heading back into my living room. Atlas is sitting on my couch, waiting patiently with his phone in his hand. When he hears me enter the living room, he glances up at me and looks me up and down. I'm still a little embarrassed, so when I sit next to him, I don't sit right next to him. I sit like 2 feet from him, and then I neuter. Sorry about that. Really, he can sense my embarrassment. So he reaches for me. Come here. He settles against the couch and pulls my leg over his so that I'm straddling him. He slides his hands up my thighs to my waist and lets his head fall lazily against the couch. Everything about tonight was perfect. Don't you dare apologize. I roll my eyes. You being nice. I got breast milk on you. Atlas slides a hand around the back of my neck and pulls me to him. Yeah, while we were making out. Trust me, I don't mind one bit. He kisses me after that, which might be a mistake because here we go again. It's going to be impossible for him to leave at this rate. I probably should have put on another bra, but I honestly thought I was going to I probably should have put on another bra, but I honestly thought I was going to the living room to tell him goodbye. I didn't know we were going to pick up where we left off on the couch, but I don't mind it at all. We are situated so perfectly. We don't even have to adjust to get the most out of this position. He groans during our kiss, and that just urges me on. And that urges me on even more. One of Atlas's hands slides up the back of my shirt, and I can feel him hesitate when his hand never meets a bra. He pauses our kiss and looks me in the eye. I'm still moving against him, and the way he's looking at me is piercing my core. He starts to move his hand from my back around to my breast. He starts to move his hand from my back around to my breast when he cups it in his hand that seems to flip a switch in him, in both of us. Ooh! Our kiss turns feverish as I start to unbutton his shirt. Nothing else is said. We just we just frantically remove every piece of clothing left between us, and we don't even bother moving to the bedroom. We barely pause the kissing when he reaches for his wallet and pulls out a condom and puts it on. And then, as if it's the most natural thing in the world, Atlas kisses me while he pushes me. Atlas kisses me while he pushes into me, and I feel every bit as loved as I did the first time. The first time this happened between us. There are so many feelings that come out in this moment. I'm not sure I've ever experienced anything so chaotically beautiful when we're finally connected. He sighs against my neck, like the same feelings are running through him. He sighs against my neck, like the same feelings are running through him. He starts to move in and out, slowly kissing me gently the whole time. But several minutes later, the kisses are frantic and we're both sweaty, and I'm so completely and wholly in the moment. Nothing else matters to me other than the fact that we are together again. And it's right. Everything about this is so right. I'm exactly where I belong, being loved by Atlas Corrigan. And that's the end of chapter 22, a very sweaty, no, not sweaty, I forgot the word. Very horny chapter, I would say. Okay, chapter 23, Atlas. I should definitely go home, but it is so hard to crawl out of this bed after the last couple of hours with her. The couch happened, then the shower happened. Oh my God, how many times did they do it? Now we're both too tired to do anything other than talk. She's lying on her back, her arms folded beneath her head. She's staring at me, listening intently as I tell her about my meeting with the lawyer yesterday. He says I did the right thing by taking him to the hospital. They were legally obligated to notify Child Protective Services. I'm not sure how I feel about that, though. It puts the power in the hands of the state. And what if they don't think I'm the best place for him? Why wouldn't they? I work a lot, I'm not married, so Josh will be alone some of the time, and I have no experience raising kids. They might think Tim is a better fit since he is the biological father. They could even give him back to my mother. I'm not even sure what she did is enough. What she did is enough to have him removed from her custody. Lily leans toward me and presses a kiss against my forearm. I'm going to tell you what you told me the first time you FaceTimed me. You said, you're stressing over things that haven't even happened yet. I fold my lips together momentarily. I did say that. You did, she says. She tucks herself against me, wrapping her leg over my thigh. It work out, Atlas. You're the best thing for him, and anyone who has vested interest will see that. I promise. I fold myself around her, fitting her head under my chin. It's incredible how much we've both changed physically since we were teens, but we somehow still fit together just as perfectly as we did back then. I've been wanting to ask you something, she says, pulling back far enough to look at me. Remember our first time? What happened after that night? After my father hurt you? I'm not surprised she's thinking about that because I've thought about it as well tonight. This is the first time we've been intimate since that night that ended so terribly. So it's hard not to compare them. That was what her very last journal entry was about. It was painful to read, seeing how much she was hurting. I wish more than anything it could have ended better than it did. I don't remember a lot from that night, I admit. I woke up in the hospital the next day, confused. I knew your father was the one who had hurt me. I remembered that much, but I had no idea if he did to you what he had done to me. I hit the call several times, and when no one came to my room, and I somehow hobbled into the hallway with a broken ankle, I was frantic, asking if you were okay, but the poor nurse had no idea what I was talking about. Lily tightens her grip around me as I talk. She finally calmed me down enough to get your information. She finally calmed me down enough to get your information from me. And then she came back to let me know that I was the only one brought in with injuries. She asked me if your father was Andrew Bloom. I told her yes, and I told her I wanted to press charges. When I asked her if she could have an officer come to the room, she looked at me sympathetically. I remember her exact words. She said, "The law is on his side, honey. No one turns him in, not even his wife." Lily exhales against my chest, so I pause and press a kiss against the top of her head. "Then what?" she whispers. "I did it anyway," I say. "I knew if I didn't report him, your mother would never get out of that situation. I made the nurse contact an officer, and when one finally arrived that afternoon, he wasn't there to listen to my statement. He was there to make it clear that if anyone was going to be arrested, it wouldn't be your father. He said your father could have me arrested for breaking into houses and forcing myself on his daughter." Those were the officer's exact words, like the relationship you and I was something criminal. I felt guilty about that for years. Lily looks up at me and places a hand on my cheek. "Atlas, we're only 2.5 years apart. You did absolutely nothing wrong." I appreciate that she says that, but it doesn't change the fact that I felt guilty for bringing stress into her life. But I also felt guilty for leaving her once I did bring stress into her life. I don't know that any choice I made back then would have felt right. I didn't want to stay and put you in more danger by showing up at your house again. And I didn't want to be arrested because I wouldn't have been able to go to the military. I thought the best thing would be to put space between us, and then someday I would contact you down the line and see if you ever still thought of me like I thought of you. "Every day," she whispers. "I thought of you every single day." I run my hand over her back for a while, and then I struck my fingers through her hair, wondering how in the world she could make me feel so whole when I had no idea I was only half of myself without her. Of course, I missed her all these years, and if I could have snapped my fingers and brought her back into my life, I would have, in a heartbeat. But we had built lives, without each other. Her with Ryle and me with my career. And I assumed that was our fate. I had grown used to not living life with her, but now she's back. I don't know that I could ever feel whole again without her, especially after tonight. "Lily," I whisper. She doesn't respond. I pull back a little and can see that her eyes are closed and her arm has gone limp around me. I'm scared if I move, I wake her up. But I told Josh I'd only be a couple of hours later than the time I initially gave him. And I'm at 3 hours now. I'm not even sure I'm allowed to leave 12 years. I'm not sure I'm not even sure I'm allowed to leave 12-year-olds by themselves. Brett was okay with it when I asked if they were fine by themselves and if he doesn't even allow Theo to have a phone. I thought he'd let me leave them alone while I went on a date unless Brad has left Theo alone before. Maybe I should Google what the age limits is in Boston for a kid to stay by themselves. I'm overthinking this, of course. They're fine. Neither of them has called or texted with any kind of emergency, and 12-year-olds even babysit other kids sometimes. I think I'm fine, but I still need to get home. I don't know Josh well enough yet to be convinced he is he isn't throwing a rager in my house right now. I slowly remove my arm from beneath Lily's head and ease out of her bed. I dress as quietly as I can, and then I go in search of a pen and paper. I don't want to wake her up, but I don't want to leave without saying anything, especially after the night we had. I find a notebook and a pen in her kitchen drawer, so I sit at the table to write her a letter. When I finish, I take it back to her bedroom and I set the note on the pillow next to her, and then I kiss her goodnight. Then I kiss her goodnight. And this is the end of chapter 23. And it's so cute. It's so sweet to see how conflicted Josh was, especially after um, Lila's father hit him and bit him. This is very understandable from his part that it was a tricky situation he was in. The fact that he didn't want to risk to be arrested, but also to inflict more pain to Lily. So in a way, it was safer, and they were so young as well. So it was probably the safest decision to make to in just leaving and not contacting Lily again. So that's also so nice to have the other side of that story with Atlas, and also the comment from the nurse about the fact that even that that she knew that the hospital or the people there knew that that Lily's mom was bitten by her husband. Of course they knew, although she lied every time. So it's very nicely inserted in this chapter, and so yeah, so subtle the way that she did it, and and you don't, yeah, and you definitely don't expect it as well because you're so focused on Atlas's story then that you forget almost that that part of the story in with Lily's mother and father, and then it's back again into the in the background of the story. Um, I like those little glimpses or this little reference to the first book. Mm. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this session with me today. This live reading, of course. I'll be happy to read any comments that you might have about these chapters, please. If you like this video, like it, share it, and join this and like the follow the channel as well. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content and make this channel grow and this book club grow as well. It will be just such a pleasure for me to keep going. Thanks to your um, your comments. I always love reading the comments and also um, see that what I'm doing is something that people are interested in or like or just enjoy. So don't hesitate to tell me about what you think about this chapter, the book, and what you're reading at the moment. I would love to hear it. So I hope that you'll be able to join me next time live on Zoom. The next session will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central European Time, and we will read chapters 24, 25. And for now, I see you and wish you a beautiful end of the day. Bye bye.